I'm multi-streaming now on leechers.org. The multi-stream goes on to YouTube. Should be live on YouTube. Should be live as well on Facebook. We should be live here. We should be live on kick.com and on X. And on X. Is it? Okay, just here. Yeah, seems to be in order. Seems to be. So oh, I forgot to put the oh, the chat is here, right? Okay, chat is here. What else did we want to do? I think I put a leechers.org in the description of the stream. Or haven't I? Okay. Have I done it or not? Okay, let me check. Something's not in order, I think. It's not being displayed. Okay, what's the title of this? I might need to start all over again. Oh, posted the live stream. So I'm not live in Leeches yet. I need to start all over again or something. Okay, I think I'll stop and I'll start again because it just doesn't show anything. Always has to be glitchy, isn't it? Yeah, we gotta start all over again. I'm gonna have to double check on the restream. Actually, if we got the right things. Right, let me just put this thing off for now, guys, because I'm using a couple of tabs here. Okay, let me check on restream something. The destinations. On leechers.org. So what the heck doesn't work? 1, 2. I put leechers.org in the title, description, and stuff. That should be fine, right? That should be fine. Okay, I'm just gonna continue the stream. Probably it's not gonna. It might take a couple of minutes though. Okay, don't freaking matter. Let's just open up this thing. Okay, matter. Not Lead Chess TV, but on the main page, we've got the London Chess Classic. Okay, let's put this tab here. All right, let's open up now with Hans Niemann playing now white versus Gukesh with black. And let me modify slightly the chat window capture. Okay. Fine. All right, guys. We're gonna peruse through the other games too. Miki Adams, Shreyas, Mateusz, Nikita, Tabata Bey, and Musar. Okay. Just put this thing nice, huh? I think it's better now. Slightly better now. Okay, Gukesh is 10. So this is a nice match we're watching here. Hans and Gukesh. Blackstone. Okay, so let's show what are the things here. Just at a brief looking. Um, Once the white knight is being removed, you no longer have the problem with the d6. So there is a problem here for black, and I reckon you got to take the knight back now. You got to take the. You have to remove the knight. You have to remove the knight. So that's exactly what Gukesh did. Now you got to take back. I don't think there is any in between move. Is this an in between move? No. You have to take on f5. Okay, so they took on f5. Remove the threat. Now there is the b7 weakness here we're looking at. There is another thing though. It's black stun. If they capture with the knight, we might be looking at this too. Among some other crazy tactics that might be here. Not mentioning that in principle there is this and there is some this stuff here also. It's quite a few. Problem is if you take with the knight and queen takes b7 and not just the rook, we're looking at this one too. So that's quite something. That is quite something. So now if Gukesh takes the knight, pretty much sure that white would take on b7. Danger being the danger being double. I'm not sure you can even touch that pawn. The danger being double danger. Double threat. Double threat. Hey, good afternoon. Hello, Anirudh. Look at this one here. Look at this position. Neiman plays very, very lively, very zesty, very tactically creative game. You can't say you die of boredom watching Neiman playing, Hans Neiman playing. I mean, just look at this beautiful game here. Gashimov. Oh, who's this guy? Who's this guy, Gashimov? Is he playing in the London Chess Classic? Because I can't see him. I don't know who Gashimov is. We could look at Gashimov, but I'm just so curious about Gukesh's next move. I need to see what Gukesh. This is live, by the way. Is it? Is it on Lee Chess, Anirudh? Gashimov Memorial. I don't see why not. I don't see why not. Amajaro, Vidit, Arjun, Abbasov. Okay. Tell me, what do you think Black should do here? First thing first. I mean, I'm really curious about Black's next move here. Queen takes, you say, yeah? But then what about Rook F1? I think that's a major problem. So if Queen takes the pawn, I'm not even sure. I don't know. I'm not even sure you can take that pawn with neither knight or queen. It's dangerous with both of them. I mean, I think it's pretty much lethal. Yeah, but what about F7? I mean, can you actually afford doing that? I'm not sure you could actually take. I'm not sure if you can take the pawn, really. Yeah, well, that's another business, of course, d5, and then you might be able to take the pawn, let's say, kind of like safely or something. Now, if d5 being played, there's always queen b7. d5 and queen b7. And then you have to move the rook. And then they might take this guy with a bishop. Exactly right, Anirudh. Bingo. Exactly right. It's too many weaknesses. Exactly right. You said it yourself. Just wanted to see if we can come to the same conclusion in regards to this situation here. That's exactly right. It's just too many weaknesses for black. I don't even know where black should be running to defend who what first. You defend b7 first. You do something with the pawn. You move the rook. And if you move the rook, what do you move the rook? Because if you move the rook now, Anirudh, let's just put it this way. Let's say you play rook b8. Let's just say. Let's say you do rook b8. Then probably they're going to do this kind of stuff. Or they're going to do this kind of stuff. And then this kind of stuff. I mean, this is just crazy. Look at this. Just look at this. Rook b8, right? Just saying. That's the reason Gukesh stays so long. I mean, this is serious. So rook b8, right? And then look at this. Knight e4, just saying. If you touch it with the queen, you're going to run in. No! You can't touch it. It's a fork. Goodbye. That's it. Just goodbye. You lose the queen. Just that's it. So rook knight e4, and this is serious. Where do you go? My days. How did Gukesh get into this mess? This is just move 19 and he's being shattered. I'm sorry, he's being killed. How can Gukesh win this? He's being killed all over the board. I didn't put the eval bar. I don't want to put the eval bar, but it looks like black is in serious trouble here. You tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong. But Hans is like killing this guy on the board here. Oops. I don't know how black can play, really. I think I should move my chat and things oopsie over to the left-hand side. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Just briefly, just bear with me a second anyway. It's nothing. Webcam unlock, chat unlock. Let me get this one to the left here. We don't need that thing. And this one here. And this one here. Just bear with me a sec, guys. Okay, I think I have to open the door now, guys. Just 2 seconds. We'll be back in a minute. Okay, so he decided to play d5. There you go. Decided to do d5 now. Let me just go back. Lock the tabs here. d5. Okay. What are we looking at? Are we looking at this? Oops. We're looking at this. And then this. If it's queen b7. If it's to be queen b7. What else can we do? This. Castle short. Okay. Okay. I get it. And can we maybe do this kind of stuff with this? No, you're dropping the bishop. Doesn't work. So queen b7, castles, and then what do you play? Bishop here. Maybe. Complicated. Do you take on b7 or it's a poisonous pawn there? So that's the question. Is that a super poison pawn or you do something else? Like, namely, defending the bishop. So I'm not sure if white should take on b7 or not. b7 because, as you guys pointed out, oopsie, wait a second. What did he play? He played queen b3 and then castle short. Now, definitely you can't take on b7. It doesn't look like you're going to take on b7. You won't take on b7. What was nice about d5 is that it pushed the bishop away and also took this one from the white knight. So that can't be played any longer. Doesn't work now. So you can't do this anymore. Let's just take this off the board. You will not be able to play it any longer. Okay, what else is here? Now, should white be playing bishop c2 because of this diagonal? In principle, I'm saying, should you do that? I mean, do you have any other ideas? This is a little bit weird here. I mean, you would like to play some rook f bar. I don't know. I didn't put the engine. I'm not putting the engine. I don't put the engine now. I like a bit more. I like white's chances for attack more. It might be something killing on the board right now. It might be some killer moves. I guess it starts with what? Is it queen b7 actually the real deal? Okay, let me try and look a bit more at queen b7. I'm not sure that's the reason why the engine might give you +3 here. Queen b7, right? Okay, yeah. No, okay. So queen b7. Let's say rook fb, right? Just saying. Okay. Then what do you go? Do you go here? If take with the queen, you drop the black knight. If the black knight takes, I'm going to take your pawn. So I think after all, is queen b7 actually playable? No, don't tell me nothing. Because if I wanted to put the engine, I would have put the engine from the beginning. I hate... No, I'm not doing engine during these lives games. I'm doing them normally after the... which I think probably might be the best one. I know some commentators use them continuously, and that's fine. Yeah. I'm expecting to be some crazy tactics, yeah. I mean, queen b7 looks like it's not a human move. Well, if it's not a human move, then I should be stopped being a human. But maybe Hans is not human. You know. Okay, let me think of the candidate moves here then. Let me consider some candidate moves. Okay, queen d6. So let's not be greedy about it. One opening up the b for the rooks. You're being funny, mister. You're being funny. Queen d6. Queen d6 candidate move because I'm looking at this. Yeah, I guess. I mean, it probably makes sense. Queen d6 because if queen takes, I could take the black knight, and if black knight takes, I can take on e5. So I would think, as a human that I am, I would think about queen d6. I mean, one of those candidate moves. So within the best of my anticipatory abilities, I would probably explore queen d6 a bit more in detail. Another candidate move, I guess, could be potentially bishop c2. Because you always want to get a bishop here now. So in the light of the fact the pawn itself will be captured at some point, you may want to do that. You might want to do bishop c2. Yeah, I said we take on e5. That's what I said. Queen d6, knight f5, queen e5. And then knight f3 and you lose the queen. I see. So that probably would be ending up very quickly. Queen d6, knight f5. And if you take is knight f... No. Queen d6, knight f5, queen e5. Yeah, I guess that works, right? Okay, let's do it again. Oh, whoa. No, not this one, obviously. Refresh the page. What did I do? Let's go back to this. Okay, so again, queen d6, knight f5, queen e5. I mean, it's something. I guess you could play it. I'm not sure it's the best one. I'm not even sure it's the second or the third line of the engine. I have no idea because I don't use the engine now. So queen d6, knight f5, queen e5, maybe. Maybe. Another one, queen c2, which I think in principle might be something. Well, e3 is seriously compromised anyway, especially after knight f5. Oh! I think it might be this move, and if you grab the knight, I might grab your knight. So it might be e4, one idea. I think I like e4 now even more. So I like e4 very much. Sorry, I didn't consider that one, but I think it makes a ton of sense. You play e5 to protect f5, which will be protected by a pawn. If black pawn takes, you're going to take back with your other pawn. And if queen takes your knight, you're going to take their knight. I think it might be investigated. I think this line might be interesting. So that definitely is worth exploring. I mean, why do you think they spend so many minutes? It's particularly because of all these ideas and consequences. So it could be e4. It could be e4. h3. Can we just block the whole thing? No, we cannot because it's this and this. e4, h3. Then can you play rook e2 though? I mean, there is a possibility. So e4, all right. You said h3, okay. I don't do nothing, but I play rook e2, defending the knight and defending the pawn if you take it. Is it that bad? Yes, I agree. It's a mess. I agree. It's a mess, but this position is not easy. This position ain't easy. So e4, h3, rook e2. Now, if you want to push the other one to g3, it's a complete mess. I don't even know where to start to calculating things. Really. It's such a mess. If you push g3, may I do knight f3 then? I mean, it's crazy, but really, the whole position is absolutely... It's a dynamite, the whole position here. It's absolutely a dynamite. I'm tempted by the e4, I've got to say. And I guess he calculates including this one. He calculates the e4 for sure. If that's the move or not, I cannot say. Not yet. What other moves have we gotten? So let's suppose e4 candidate moves, bishop c2. A bit slow though. Bishop c2 is very slow. It's a very slow move. What else? Rook e2 straight away, but that's also painfully slow and heck knows. Rook e2. I don't know. Rook e2. Maybe. He might find it. He's a GM after all. He's a very creative guy. He's a GM after all. Might find it. I don't know what that move is. Again, e4, rook e2. I might consider rook e2. Maybe I can get the other rook on f. Yeah, of course, maybe. Oh, there is another idea. There's another idea. I'm looking at this for this. Now that's something clean. This is clean. Rook a4, it's a clean approach, I guess. Rook a4, so that's another candidate move. Rook a4. e4, rook e2, rook a1 to a4. It's a direct attacking move. At least you do a rook lift. Maybe there's something over there. Yeah, they're going to be playing knight f6. Very likely, but what can I say? That's another idea. Rook a4. E4, rook e2, rook a4. Maybe. Other than that, I don't see. Bishop d1. Okay, if you want to look at like pretty much all of them, let's look at this one, bishop d1, right? You're running into the same thing with knight f6. Then you can add a bit more with rook a4. Maybe you could take that pawn after all. It's something. Rook a4, bishop d1. I mean... Okay, so Jackson says e4. Yeah, I thought about e4 as well. Then queen takes knight. And you take the black knight. Yeah, the idea would be with h3. You got to be careful about h3. And if you push to g3, then you're going to get checkmated on g2. Therefore, you got to play rook e2 at some point. After h3, you have to play rook e2 to defend the g2 square and, yeah, and the knight, of course. Do you want a rook a4? That might be another idea. Well, it's not easy, not even for him. So I think he's spending some good minutes here. Spending good minutes here. So I wouldn't move. Okay, if I am taken by elimination, I wouldn't move the h2 pawn. I wouldn't move this guy. I wouldn't move this guy. There's no point to moving this guy. There's no point to playing d3. The bishop, very slow. There's no point to pushing c4. If you want to do something with the white knight, let me think. I mean, you know, you just take it one by one. If you want to do something with the white knight, what would you do? Let's say. You could do this. Then again, it's just painfully defensive and slow. I really don't know. Can you do rook here? Hey, rook a4, yeah. That's it, rook a4. I said rook a4. Well, it took me like as many minutes as the other guy. And I'm not Hans Niemann for sure. Well, I did say rook a4. In the end, I admit. After like... Well, you know, I spent the same amounts of time as Niemann and... I did say rook a4. Yeah, well, I found it and I'm not using any engine. Just by the way, I'm not, you know, all right, so I found it without any engine. Rook a4. And if there is any knight f6, you can look at bishop d1. So I think we can we can clear that guy from any AI assistance, right? If an average guy like me could find it, There's no problem for Hans to find it. So if knight f6, it's bishop d1, and suddenly starts making sense. But rook a4, it's a sensical move. It's not like an abhorrent. It's not like a crazy, totally unthinkable move. It's not an it's a little bit uncommon. Okay, let's put it like this. It's slightly uncommon to play rook lift to rook a4 when the board is swarming with pieces. Let's just put it like this. But it's not like unthinkable, inconceivable. It's not that thing. It makes sense. You actually go for a weakness. You're targeting a weakness. So if I found it, I'm sure Hans absolutely found it in a very natural way. Let's put it this way. In a very human way. Knight f6, bishop d1. And I think that guy's going to fall. I think that guy's going to fall. And by the looks of it, might be a victory for white. By the looks of it, it's quite strong, very strong. This is very strong. Also, the bishop can, the bishop will be traveling c to d1. It depends. Bishop will travel. Knight f5. You want to do knight f5 now? Queen g4, rook g4, queen. No, it's not. I'm going to play e4. You're going to take with d. I'm going to take again with d. You're going to have to move your knight, and then I'm going to take on h4, pinning this guy. Anirudh. So, if you're thinking about, let's do it this way: knight takes, queen takes, queen takes, rook takes check, king h8, right? Good. e4, and I'm attacking your knight. The knight that protects h4. You're going to have to move your knight. If you take first, I'm going to take again with the pawn. You're still going to have to move your knight. Where are you going to move your knight? You're going to have to go back. And when you go back, I'm going to take h4, pinning this guy. I don't think it's very much of a draw. It's still powerful here for white. So I'm taking actually 2 pawns here. Well, you're going to take on f5. That's true. But I think white's going to take on g4, respectively h4. And you're going to end up with a pinned knight. And I guess after e4, the other rook can make a rook lift. And I think you got serious trouble then. I think you got serious trouble. So tell me, what do you think? Tell me, what do you think? Tough game. Very tough game. Very tough position here. Seems to be attacking more for white here. Seems to be more powerful for white. And black is pretty much defending here, and there's some weaknesses there on the king side for black. There's some serious weaknesses there. Namely, the G pawn, the G4, the H4 pawns are weak. What G3? When, Anirudh? You can play G3 now. That doesn't make any difference, I guess. G3. What's with the G3? I don't understand what G3 doing. I can just simply ignore that G3 move, go Queen G4 anyway, or just take an H4. I didn't consider G3 because I don't see what it does. I don't see what it does really. G3, probably Queen G4. Queen's gonna come off the board whether you want it or not. Whether you want it or not. So pawn to G3 now, black playing, will be, let's say, replied with the Queen G4, and I just don't see what's the thing. I really don't see what's the thing here. Oh, especially after Queen G4. G3. I'm not taking H4. Let's say Queen G4. I want to trade off the queens, and I'm going to take the other guy later. So G3. G3, not Queen H4. G3, Queen G4. Queen G4, Queen takes, Rook takes. And I guess it's okay. I mean, still a bit goodish for white. Yeah, Queen G4. You're not taking H4. You play Queen G4. Make sure that the queen disappears. So you can exert your rooks on the G file. And you're going to sabotage the other pawn as well. G3, it's not a threat. It's just something that might be played, but I don't think it bears any huge consequences or something. It doesn't look like. Doesn't really look like. G3, Queen G4. Yeah. Okay. Well, I think we can look at some other games too now. So yeah, that's nice. I like it. That's really nice. This is really nice. This is really, really, really nice. Let's look at Tabata Bay Musar. Oh, what was the other one you said? Let me go back. You said there is another competition happening today. Also, there is one on chess.com. Fabulous. That should be starting in half an hour from now. Okay, so what's the other one? Gashimov Memorial. Is it here? I don't see the Gashimov Memorial. Where is it? Are you sure it's on Lichess? More. What? I don't know. If you got a link or something which is on Lichess, let me know. I don't see it here. I don't know what that is. I don't know what that is. I'm going to go back to this one for now. So it didn't move nothing, Gukesh, yeah? Didn't move nothing. So let's have a look at another one. Oh, I think I pressed too many. Wait a minute. What is it? Tabata Bay with white and Jules Moussa with black, Sam. Bishop D4. Ah, okay. Because I didn't see anything. What? Watch broadcasts. So if I go watch broadcast, well, I play right now. Vugargash Oh, in 17 hours. Vugar Gashimov Memorial. Uh-huh. Okay, that's cool, but that happens in 17 hours from now, that is. That's what it says on the screen here. Okay. Now we got these things here. Okay, let's see this one quickly. Vitugov Bartel. Oh, they've ended today's round. Oh, okay. It could be. It could be. It could be. It could be. Is this a draw? Whose turn is it? White's turn. Is this a draw? Especially if we do this. If Queen C5 played by White now, do you think that's a draw, Anirudh? Do you think that's a draw? Queen C5. Queen C5. Is that a draw? I mean, it should be a draw, right? You attack the queen. I mean, you know, if the pieces are getting traded. Queen C5, Queen C5, knight takes. Queen takes, knight takes. Bishop B5. Bishop B5. What does that do? Oops. Queen C5. Queen takes C5. Knight takes C5. Bishop B5. What might be the purpose of bishop? So as I said, I think it's a draw. Yeah. I mean, it doesn't do nothing, bishop b5. I mean, it's one of those moves you could play if you want to. But I don't see any way to make him progress or something. I mean, rather more concerning could be maybe knight d4, but I'm just not... Yeah, I don't see any. Yeah. So queen c5, I think, would be quite drawish. And I think they will make a draw then. Yeah, queen c5, I think it's a draw. There's no rooks on the board. If there were rooks, we might have said, yeah, well, you know, stuff might have happened, but there's no rook available here, so after all. Hey, something happened with Gukesh and Niemann. Wait a minute. We've deviated. We've deviated from the moves here. Wait a minute. We've seen stuff. G3, the move you said. Queen takes H. Queen takes. Rook takes. Pawn takes. Rook H2. So actually the idea with G3 did happen after all, but followed not by Queen G4, but by Queen takes H4. Anyway, I don't see... Well, it's a natural move, I guess. Knight takes F5. It's a... You can't get more natural than that. And then followed by E4, I'd say. So Knight F5, E4. And Black Knight has to go someplace, somewhere, I guess. Yeah, you have to. There might be some other idea too, guys. If this would happen, you could do Knight F3 for this. You're practically going to lose a piece if I'm getting there now in this formula. So Knight F5, Knight F3, because I want to play... Well, wait a minute. No. Okay, so Knight F5, Knight F3. Knight F5. No, you can't do Knight F3. The king is not pinned. I mean, the knight is not pinned, right? I don't know why I thought it's pinned. It's not. Oh. Wait a minute. Knight F5, Rook H5? Uh, maybe. It's difficult. Maybe. So I can take potentially. I'm not sure. After knight takes on f5, I'm not sure if white should push e4 or you should do something else. I'm not certain of it. E5, knight takes e5 and e4. They seem to be very normal. They seem to be normal. Yeah, I guess we can run back. Rook h5, knight g7. You can go to h3. You know, you can go to h3 eventually. And then you're going to be playing knight f3. Yeah, you're going to be bringing more pieces on the king side if you're white here. All sorts of things. Or maybe knight f5, rook h5, knight g7. Knight g7. Yeah, you got to go on h3 though. Because the rook is being attacked by the knight on g7 if you are on h5, that is. So maybe after knight f5, still e4. Knight f5, knight f5, knight f5, king f2, defending e3, defending g3, preparing doubling. Yeah, that makes it. That's probably the most incisive plan here available for white indeed. Yeah, that might be the case. Let me see. Yeah, I guess so. I guess. I don't see anything funky with this. Knight f5, king f2. I guess it's applicable straight away. Knight f5, king f2. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. I guess a bit more faster, quicker in attacking than the other idea with the e4 and things. Or rook h5, which subjects the rook to more attacking from the knight. Yeah. Mm-hmm. They haven't moved yet. Totally. Yeah, Gukesh is 17 minutes. The other guy is like 45. Is there anything else for black to do here apart from taking the pawn on f5? Just trying to figure out if there might be any counterplay. Is there any counterplay here? Knight f5, king f2. This rook doubling on the h file is really, really serious. This is really serious. Maybe I will. I'll just take a few more minutes around. Maybe. I can't promise, but maybe. I mean, it's only depending on the folks that might. I mean, if I got a couple of guys coming in between, probably I'll stay longer. No worries, man. I'll be pretty much every evening. So, by the way, I might be starting over to Twitch and uh the super event that they do in Toronto, Canada. So I might be over to Twitch there and chess.com. So I'll be staying here for a couple of more minutes and then I'll see if I could translate quickly to Twitch and chess.com. I mean, particularly wanted to see Hans and Gukesh, how the guys doing, and they're doing great. I think that's very, very tactical stuff here. I might be going via Twitch and chess.com. Okay. Look at this one. I know it's white's turn, but in principle, that's interesting. This is interesting. Really interesting. Wow. I don't know if you're stopping it. This is so serious. I think I like it. Just look at this. Bishop f1 played by Vityugov with the clear intent to target g2, especially after queen g1. I really can't find any reasonable counterplay here that you might have for white. What do you do? How do you stop queen g1? There might be though something, and probably white needs to ASAP to play something like bishop c4. You need to get that bishop off the board immediately. Like immediately. You have to. If you don't, it's gonna be too late then. So if you mess around now, play any random move, if you do something, and I think if it's not bishop c, bishop c4, bishop c4, maybe bishop c4. Gonna get that bishop off. All right, guys, we'll be back in a second. Alrighty. Right. What did it do here? Mm-hmm. After this, we're looking at this. Maybe. That might be another way. That might be another way indeed. Okay, what's happening here? So what happened after? There are a bunch of moves that took place. So this. So he didn't take, he played f6. Rook g7 attacking. Undermining. The pawn is in the middle. Now you could have knight e6, but not after knight g5. Can you play rook e3 here? Okay. Yeah, but it's still a... No, it's pinned, that guy. Wait a minute. Go back a few. It is d5. Do this. Knight e6. Knight e6. You attacking f6. Six. Maybe. Okay. So we got 3 more games now happening. Teosh, Vitigov, Gukesh, Niemann, Tabatabai, and Musar. These are the only 3 games taking place. Those of you guys that want to watch the Champion Chess Tour, I think the guys on chess.com will be streaming it. That's the London Chess Classic, which you can see it on platforms. But the other one, it's organized by chess.com. Goes for this guy because it's pinned. The knight is pinned, can't take the rook. So that's a direct threat on that pawn. This is a direct threat on the threatening the pawn straight away. Maybe this one would have been met with some rook e8. Okay, so now king moves to defend. Still in a pin though. How are you gonna play this? Can you do this now though? There is this. There's always this as well. So that's cool. Can you play now knight e6? Looks to me like you kind of can. Kind of can. Knight e6. I think it's doable. Oh. King f1? King f1. King. Okay, running away from the potential is this. There was always this. Maybe you want to play this guy, I say. So do king f1 because you want to be able to play this guy so you're not running into this if the king were on g1. Okay, that makes sense. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. They can't do rook e8 because rook e1 takes, king takes, bishop takes, pawn takes, did this. So I guess rook e8 cannot be played because of this one in particular. Yeah, maybe because of this. Maybe because of this. But maybe black can do something else. Well, knight can't move because it's pinned. The other black rook. Can they do rook h7? Maybe they can. Can they do then rook from A8 over to G and get double rooks on G file? Maybe they can. Maybe they can. Sorry, say it again. What caption, brother? You talking about subtitles or something? Or sorry, I don't understand. If you can clarify, I'll try and help if I can. Is the mic muted or something? No, the mic seems to be okay. The sound seems to be okay on OBS. I don't know. What are you exactly referring to? Anyway, feel free to clarify, please. So, what do you think Black should be playing next? Should you do something like rook to the G, just having double hit here as soon as the knight goes heck knows where? Or would you try and play rook to H7? Maybe you want to make this rook disappear because it's too dangerous. Then perhaps you can get a rook game somewhere. Rook H7, rook A8 to G8. Maybe. What else is here for Black to play? Not an easy position here. There's no wonder he goes now soon in less than 10 minutes available. That's not an easy one. The knight is in a pin. The d5 knight is pinned. Once the white king had moved on f1, there is no checks with this guy here. Well, there was this white knight, so they couldn't have played it really. I mean, it seems to be Black a bit more limited here in its possibilities than white. It's a bit more limited. Again, this one I don't think it works. Because rook takes, king takes, bishop captures, pawn takes, and then rook takes f6. So if I'm correct, it seems to not working rook a to e8. So probably you got to do rook a to g8 or maybe rook h7. Maybe something like that. Maybe something like that. Hmm. It's going even low on time. 8 minutes now for Gukesh. How is he gonna get out of this? There you go, rook g8. There you go. He decided to play rook a g8, and I did underline this move previously as one of the very few options Black has them now. And now the double rooks look at the g2. Now you need to just figure out where the heck you want to get this knight. So how, where? How you gonna move the knight? So you may think about maybe h7. Crazy, but I mean I don't know what you want to play with that. Well, not that too many options, but I did mention rook a to g8, and I mentioned rook g7 to h7 as the previous two candidate moves. And he did go for this one, which probably I might have played it if I were him. As per white, I'll try to figure out some candidate moves here with some explanations attached to them. Problem is, I think Rook G8 now wants to demote white from playing this. Although if you play it, the knight takes. You could take with tempo because that'd be check though. And then you probably might have time to just drop a rook here. Yeah. Yes, probably, perhaps. I guess you could play this one now. Knight e6. Is that a move you want to play? I guess that should be. Knight e6. Maybe after all, maybe knight e6 indeed is the stuff you want to do. Knight e6. Yeah, maybe yes. Maybe yes. Tell me, guys, if you think differently or if you got another plan, do let me know, people. What else can I do here? That's maybe the strongest, though. Interesting that in chess, at some point, you get to a point where things are very limited in their options. I mean, the candidate moves are just decreasing. 96, probably 90s. Oh, have I didn't close any tab, any essential tab or something? C4. Okay. So let's say they do this. After all, you push again, they're coming back again. What's the deal? What's the deal? Wait a minute, did they just play it exactly as I said? C4, knight 7, C5, 95. Jesus. I'm, I'm quite predicting them, eh? C4, knight 7, C5, 95. Okay, back to square one. Okay, those guys, though, are advanced now, so he probably cleared that idea. Now, you still need to look at this stuff, though. Nope, he doesn't. He actually takes the knight. Well, probably Gukesh should just take straight away. He did. Now knight e6. Now he plays knight e6. Let me tell you something cool. I wonder if the black knight were to take, you're going to take back with this guy. Because if they take here, you might have a check. And mate, for that matter. Knight takes. Rook captures. Rook takes. Rook takes check. Not mate though, because they're moving here. So it's not quite mate, but that's interesting. Knight takes rook. So I'm not even sure. Should we take with the pawn or with the rook? One might be different. And what might be the difference? Oh, where did the ball disappear? Okay. So they hitting the rook now. You sort of like probably have to take. Because if you don't take and play this, let's just put it this way. If you do rook h7, knight takes, check. If you take with the rook, I'll take your rook. Take with the pawn, I'll take your rook. So by the looks of it, I don't know why he stays that long. You have to take the knight. Sorry, you have to, yeah, you have to take the knight with the knight. If you don't take the knight with the knight, I think you're going to drop a rook here. If you're being black here. So you have to, so you can't move the rook. That's what I say. You can't play this. And you must take the knight. And if you must take the knight, I guess you should just do it. Because time is of the essence. You can't just delay it for... You can't delay this. To take. Okay, so this thing's still under development now. I might be going on Twitch now. Go over to chess.com and see that thing, that the other event, Chess Championship Tour. So I might be streaming over to Twitch now after this one ends. Okie dokie. So not too many minutes left here. Let's see. Did something happen here? Did someone resign or something? Oh my god, yeah, he resigned here. Oh man. Oh boy. Now let's put the engine on. So it's incredibly bad. Rook c8, and I'm gonna take your guy. Or let's say this one, yeah, in which this one takes. The strongest one is rook takes e. And I said, what about they capturing here? And then there's this guy here, and then they move here. What is it we say? This pawn can be captured straight away by the king. Disaster. Wow, Hans really delivered with this one. Really delivered. Boy, he really delivered for this one. Fabulous game by Neiman. Alrighty, people. So, guys, if I'm not on Leeches, I'm on chess.com. Or I mean, if I'm not on YouTube and Facebook, I'm definitely on to Twitch and chess.com. So, you know, just follow me on Twitch and YouTube, and you're gonna get, guys, notified where I am and if I'm streaming and stuff. And then we might be just engage in some friendly comments, analysis, and maybe some friendly games, arenas, etc. Okay, guys. Thanks to those of you that stopped by today. If you want, you can check my last YouTube video, and I'll see you guys soon. Thank you very much.